Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? Hope you guys had a great day today. Um, the market kind of played out the way we anticipated, what we talked about last night. If you watched it, the handful of you that did watch it, you got to see the beauty and the magic of technical analysis. Um, but we're gonna look forward here and see what the market is telling us tonight, and where we're likely to go tomorrow if everything kind of stays quiet. um I don't know, everybody that I have mentored, I can't think of anybody that I mentored that didn't suffer from this syndrome, market mental overload, or MMO. All right, and it's in our human nature to try and pack as much knowledge into our brains as possible, because at this point in our life, being an adult, we realize knowledge is power, and the more knowledge we have, the more powerful we are. Well, just like everything else in trading, it does not work like our normal everyday life. In trading, the only knowledge you want to have is the knowledge that affects the strategies that you trade. That's it. Okay? I don't advocate, once you learn the strategies. Now, I know in the beginning you have to move around. You have to find what strategies you like to trade, what person you feel comfortable learning from, and all that stuff. That has to be done, and it takes a while to do that. It may take 6 to 8 months. It may take a year, to find where you need to be or where you want to be based on, what you want to learn and how you want to trade. Me, I'm the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. You make it simple. Once you learn how to read price action, everything just falls into place. The problem that we're going to deal with is MMO, a market mental overload, because our brains are like circuit breakers. We can get we can overload it, and it just wigs out on us. Okay, we just can't think, we can't do anything right. So we have to reset it. Sometimes it's taking a nap. Sometimes it's going out doing something you enjoy to clear your mind. Whatever happens, whenever you fall apart like that, it's not because you're broken. It's not that there's something wrong with you. This is 100% normal. You're just overloading your brain. I don't know how many of you tried to cram for tests when you're in school the night before. Most of us, we overloaded our brains. We didn't know how to compartmentalize the information. Now, some people are smart enough and they know how to put bits of information, organize it in their brain so it doesn't overload it. Most of us, we're just throwing stuff in, and that's what happens to us in trading. The exercise that I give you in the beginning of the roadmap to success, it's designed to create MMO so that you know how to deal with it once you start playing with your real money. And it takes you to hell and back. And again, it doesn't mean that your brains or your mind's broken. It just means you're adding too much salsa to your taco. You need to chill out and look at it for the simplicity of it. And as we look at our trades today, I'm gonna go over that. So here's my project from yesterday. Remember, guys, I showed you the carburetor I was rebuilding. Here it is. I finished it. And here's what I did. I took the earnings trade that we're going to talk about here in a minute. I took the earnings trade. Once I took the first profit, I left and I went and installed this carburetor and started it up and everything. Even hung around and talked to my nephew for a little bit. And came back home. The trade wasn't going anywhere and got out of it. This is one of the things that I talked about yesterday. When you feel you're getting overloaded, when things are just starting to run together and it's not making sense, and you're looking at the market and it doesn't make sense to you, you got to get out and do something else. Okay? I don't. Some people get mad at me because I don't sit there all day. It's stupid to sit there all day and look at the market. It doesn't make sense. You have to take a break. You have to walk away. Okay? That's one of the first things my mentor told me. The guy that's trading, my mentor that's actively day trading now. That's one of the first things he told me. He asked me, do you have a break? Do you have a scheduled break every day that you break up your trading day? I was like, yeah, I did it. It kind of came from me trading at work. I was like, I tried doing this. And he was like, yeah. Smart guy. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. They feel like they have to sit there all day and watch the market or else they're going to miss something. He's like, you're going to miss moves. You can't trade everything that moves. And you're going to miss it. But you have to take your time away from the market, because if you sit there, you're going to start seeing things that aren't there. You're going to convince yourself to take trades that you shouldn't take, and you're going to lose all your money. And that's what everybody's doing. Okay, you have to take a break. When I do something stupid or I make a mistake and I start to feel my emotions get the best of me, I take a walk. Okay, you got to. You see me do it. I just don't tell you I'm taking a walk. I take a walk. Okay, when it's time for me to go to lunch, I like doing mentor sessions because it actually rejuvenates my brain. It's just part of being a teacher, and that actually soothes me. Just like rebuilding this carburetor and putting it on the engine and making it run. That soothes me. It's like therapy for me. So you find these things to help you so that you don't end up with your brain and everything just kind of feels like it's exploding out of you and you can't do anything. You can't think straight. And you start doing things. You have to reset it. Whatever you do, you have to reset it. And you can. This doesn't mean you're gone for good. You just have to hit the reset button. Like I said, our brains are circuit breakers. It's up to us to go back and reset it. All right, look at the SPY here. We're almost at the top. We were looking at this. We've been riding the 5-day up. We gapped up a little bit yesterday, but still had one of these little flat candles. Look at the candlestick we had today. A lot better than what we've had. So we're coming out of this distribution phase, consolidation, whatever you want to call it. I think, we may run up and ride this tomorrow. We'll see. I can't remember what economic news comes out tomorrow. Oh, let me see. I'll try to find it real quick so I don't have a lot of dead time. But it's one of those. It's one of these things where if we get some bad, news, or some bad economic news, or some bad news, or some bad economic 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 news, or something like that, it can cause the market to turn around and go. So we don't want to see that. So what I want to see is everything kind of staying the same, not getting hit, the market not taking any bad news and getting hit yet. I want this to follow up and flow through and do, run its course. I can't find it. I've got the calendar here somewhere. I email it out to you guys every day, and we talk about, and we talk about the we talk about what's coming up. Okay, consumer sentiment index. That may not be too big. May not be bad. All right, so we may run up and it may hang up here Friday. We may do one of these candles where we just hang out above it, hang around it, and go into the weekend riding this ascending resistance. But this pretty much did just what we were expecting it to do based on technical analysis. That's what we saw. So tomorrow should be a pretty interesting day. So our trading today, we have a opening range breakdown. Again, I was not being aggressive. However, had I been aggressive today and taken all of these stocks I had on watch on the initial break of the pre-market low or pre-market high, I would have made some good money. But I wasn't going to be aggressive today. I waited. I got in on the opening range breakdown. Obviously, I didn't respect this pre-market low. Look at the wick on this. I thought this was just like a reconciliation move because it happened like right before 6 o'clock. I thought some orders were being reconciled for a market maker or whatever. I didn't think that there was support here. So I didn't respect it. And I paid the price for it. If I saw this tomorrow, I would still think the same thing. That normally when you see these huge wicks at different times during pre-market, that's typically market makers reconciling orders. You'll never see it hit level 2 or time in sales. It's just reconciliation. But it failed it. It turned around and stopped me out. So I can't be mad at the stock for not following through. I probably should have just still respected this. And next time I probably will respect it. I won't, piss in the wind, because sometimes it blows back in your face, and that's what happened here. So that was Baidu. Next trade was Coinbase, and honestly, I would have stopped out on this and then got back in, but my internet crashed, and it really messed up. And I think it might have messed my computer up because I'm really late getting the video done, because when I was getting ready to do it, my computer crashed. Monitors went out, and then when I got everything back up and running, it had a ghost monitor that everything was going to. And I was like, it was crazy. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll work itself out. But definitely would have stopped out here if I wasn't caught up in trying to get this thing back on track. But it did work out. Hit my first target here, and then it turned around and stopped me out. And as we came back through again, I waited till we confirmed losing this level, this daily level. We confirmed it, and it snatched it back, sold off again. I should have taken profit down here. Again, I was waiting for it to come down and tap a specific level. It never did. Ended up stopping me out. I stopped out on it, and then that was that. But this is a hard stock to trade. Really, really difficult. Especially, look at the candlestick. This price action sucks. It got spready at times. It was really a wicked trader. And over here, it looked like everything just kind of settled in, and that we would get, a nice organized sell-off. But, even though the candlesticks looked a lot better, the trading looked a lot more fluid, it just didn't work out. So that was on Coinbase. This was a trend continuation, channel break here. We put in the bottom of the channel, and I probably should have waited until it confirmed, but it was before 10 o'clock. And well, actually it was right at 10 o'clock. And typically 10 o'clock is my cutoff time. After 10, I'll try to wait for confirmation. Before 10, I won't. That's simple rule. No room for interpretation. But had I done it, I probably would have had a cleaner trade, but that's that. All right, so the last trade, Airbnb, this was the earnings trade. I trade this just like I would trade a 5-minute opening range trade. Okay, maybe next earnings season, I'll start slowly getting into my more aggressive earning strategy. But here, this is more conservative. This is less risky, and it works well for people with smaller accounts. The only issue with this is that you have to be disciplined, because you can't use stop orders after market or pre-market. So you have to be disciplined enough to stop yourself out when it dictates. Okay, it's all you got to do. Sounds easy, but that's where the hard part comes in. All right, so nice move. I took my first profit, and like I said, I worked on that truck, came back, and was just kind of waiting to see if we were going to sell. It didn't. Take it off right before 8 o'clock, and we're done. All right, so not the best of days in terms of earnings, right at $400, $392.75. The Baidu trade is what hit me. Really should have, in hindsight, I really should have respected that pre-market low. But everything else turned out to be okay. Coinbase, I gave some of that money back on the second trade. So really could have had a strong day today if I had stayed locked in a little bit better, mentally when I was trading. But it is what it is. Going into Friday, we'll see if we can build off of this, end the week strong, and get ready to enjoy some of that R&R for the weekend. So you guys have a great night, and I will catch you in the morning.